Hey guys, it's Minkeyman. Right now, we're just waiting for Moco to come out, and I'm feeling a little bit of negativity in the Moco community, so I thought maybe it would be a good time to talk about the things that make me worry about Moco's future. Because, as you guys all know, there's been a few Supercell games in a row now that have been shut down, and so there's a real possibility that Moco is canceled before it's even able to take off. And there's a few different ways that I think that could happen. That's why I'm making a video here. We're going to be covering all that. I think the most likely way for this to happen is with the game stagnating. I love Moco in its current state. I have a lot of fun with it, but if we look like a year out in the future and I can't point to enough things that they have meaningfully improved on, then other people aren't going to be seeing that either. And in its current state, this is a game that is losing players. Like, it's not doing enough to keep everybody interested. Right now, what we're seeing with Moco is that they are attempting to add things into the game that are grindable. You see that with the mastery paths. You do get a title at the end of them, which is a decent reward. It's not nothing, but the reality is that we're going to be needing a lot of different things that you could be doing within this game if you want it to be something that people don't grow disinterested with. Personally, I love the loop already, but that's because I am in love with Supercell games. Right now, Moco is really resonating with that demographic, but the reality is that you have to be like pretty into Supercell right now to actually dedicate yourself enough to really understand the concept of Moco and to enjoy it. That isn't to say that this game isn't for casuals. I can't stress enough. I think that that's one of the more underlooked aspects of the experience right now. My girlfriend is someone who plays literally no games, and she's now an elite hunter. She does enjoy it a good bit. This is a game that people who are not the most into video games can pick up and understand. But stagnation is not the only way that you can mess up a game, and that is why I am now going to be coining a new phrase. I'm calling it the Brawl Starsification of Moco. Now, with Moco, I'm seeing a lot of things that are taken from Brawl Stars, and I honestly don't see that as a bad thing. Brawl Stars is a great game. There's a lot of things that you can reference from it that are going to improve Moco because they have certain similar aspects to them. But the thing is that the more that they capitulate to the standards of Brawl Stars, it really just creates less of a reason to play the game. The rotating events that they're going to be adding for Moco have me the tiniest bit worried. If they lean too heavy into a small rotating display of events, I don't think that this game is going to feel all that meaningfully different from Brawl Stars. The classes are also like this, where I do think this is an improvement, but it's another thing that is now a lot closer to what we see inside of Brawl Stars in comparison to a completely original idea. Moco needs to be an original IP built from the ground up, and when you're falling back on what works with your other games too much, it's gonna lead towards a game that just isn't worth playing because it's just a less developed version of Brawl Stars. They need to be implementing these big new features that we have not seen in anything, rather than just employing ones that are fun but not as exciting as something we've never seen before. But ultimately, this is just a piece of the puzzle here. Something else that I think is really important is they need to improve the multiplayer aspects of this game. I don't know about you guys, but I've been able to get a lot of different people to download Supercell games because we can play them together. Moco is already really good with being a game where you really can work together with your buddy, but it's pretty half-baked as a part of the game because of the fact that it's pretty hard to even grow groups, to find friends in the game. It's not as easy to get people to play with as Supercell probably wants it to be. I know a lot of people who haven't done a lot of these harder rifts just because of the fact that they can't find somebody to do them with, and that is definitely an issue. It's not very fair. You need like a competent squad of people to complete these things, but how it is right now, you really have to just rely on completely random people. Since they are redoing the weapon system with classes, it's fine that they haven't done this yet, but once these things are implemented, Supercell needs to be doing consistent balance changes, because the way that this game has barely been tuned over a very long time makes me a little bit nervous. I'm gonna be honest, that's not very good. They need to be updating these things faster. Certain monsters are way stronger than they need to be. Other ones are way weaker than they need to be. It's not a very balanced game at all. Some of these rifts are ridiculously difficult, and other ones are very, very easy. So moving forward, I really need to see them actually trying to tune the game. If there's just like 2 classes that excel over all the other ones, I'll be really disappointed. That definitely affects how fun the game is. It's a problem that only comes up when they're not on top of the balancing of the game. Like, don't be afraid to nerf certain rifts and dojos or challenges, you know, whatever comes up. I need to see them trying to make this game more balanced. I think that the levels and the gears and all of the different variables right now have made it harder for them to do that. So once Neo Moco does come out, I'm hoping that Supercell is going to be patching the game a little bit more consistently. But a game doesn't even need to be balanced to be all that fun. What it does need is things to do, and since they've removed progression, they've kind of left a massive void in the game, and I've touched on it previously a little bit. If they're just trying to use like the weapon mastery system and the grind of unlocking classes as the only progression that you get in the game, then that just means that there's not that much to do in Moco. Hopefully they're either just hiding some stuff from us where we don't know certain aspects of cosmetic progression that we're going to be getting, but it's also just possible that they really haven't set up that many rewards in the game for you to grind for. That's not really something that you can just leave unfinished for the game, because when there's not that much to do, then basically everybody's going to stop playing the game. I know a lot of you guys are not stoked about the removal of progression, so I really just hope that they take this removal seriously and use it as an opportunity to replace it with a system that is really worth our time. I'm speaking so harshly here. I want to make it clear, you know, I love the cosmetic rewards. I just want them to add a bunch of different grinds that I can do for the game. As long as I have like skins and things like that, for me, that's really rewarding. I think it's a cool way that you would be able to show off grinds that you've done, especially if they had some ones that were just like these completely ridiculous milestones. Like, I want a title for killing 1,000 Draenors, you know what I mean? That'd be pretty silly. And so on top of all of this stuff, I think there's one other thing that is crucial for Moco to succeed, and that is that they actually market the game. Personally, I'm someone who has been keeping up with Moco for years. I remember the first like closed beta had come out, and I just heard what the genre of game is, and I knew it was something that I'd be super interested in. But here's the thing, I'm not somebody who was constantly engaging with every Supercell creator, and so because of that, I missed it. I didn't realize that the first season had even come out, and I didn't start playing until the second season. If I'm not finding it, that definitely means that a lot of other people are not going to be stumbling across this either, which is currently, according to Supercell, all good, because they're just trying to develop a good game and they're considering it more of a beta test still. It does just make me worry a little bit. I feel like if it stays in beta for too long, it could just never take off. Now, I feel like this is kind of like a good spread of things that if they focused on, the game would be in a better place. There's definitely a lot of other ideas on things that they can do with the game. I feel like I spoke very broadly on what I wanted from the game rather than talking about like specific mechanics that I would want implemented. That'll definitely be a type of video that I'm going to be making in the future. And I would love to hear what you guys are also thinking about the future of Moco in the comments. Hopefully some positive stuff. You know, I really like this game. This is a more critical video, but I can't stress enough that I'm feeling pretty good about the future of Moco right now, especially with Neo Moco. It looks like they put a lot of effort into trying to revitalize the game. And if you yourself are excited for it as well, I'll be making more videos about it. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.